Hi everyone, how you going? So it appears that the LNP are rolling out the cashless debit card by stealth by using ParentNext program. Now, we've got thousands and thousands of families around the country in housing crisis, living in hotels, living in caravan parks, right? And all of a sudden, in WA, southwest WA, ParentNext program is trying to put a lady on the cashless debit card due to the fact they live in a caravan park, because the house that they were renting got sold out from underneath them. So now they live in a caravan park. Now, under emergency housing rules all around the country, if you front a housing and you're sleeping in your car, you're deemed adequately housed. And you can get turned away for assistance. If you're living in a hotel, you're adequately housed. If you're living in a caravan park, you're adequately housed. Yet ParentNext has decided that this family is at risk of homelessness and is referring them to go onto the cashless debit card, even though they are not in a cashless debit card region. Now, there's nothing in the legislation that allows them to do this. So therefore it's illegal. It's a sneaky way of rolling out the card to more families, under the excuse of, but you're at risk of being homeless. However, in this instance, if you look below this video, you watch the TikTok video the lady has released, they will be jeopardising her housing. Straight away, her family will end up homeless if they put her on this card. So, my question to Anne Ruston is, what are you doing? You know, you're using the ParentNext program against parents that are living in housing crisis because of a housing crisis we have because of your government, right? And because you cut all away the services. You've cut all the services away from shelters, from DV services, from emergency housing funding, right? You don't have anything in the budget for public housing or social housing or affordable housing for families, okay? And now you're going to use ParentNext program to shove families all around the country onto the cashless debit card? We think not, and we're going to stand up and fight you on this. We're going to stand up for this family too, because it's not in the legislation to do this. It's illegal. You can't just put people willy-nilly outside trial areas on cashless debit cards because they live in a caravan park. Simple as that, or wherever they're living. So, we're not doing this, right? Anne Ruston, Service Australia, get your shit together, because we'll fight you all the way on this. This is a sneaky way of rolling out the card to parents, right, and other people that are already in housing crisis, doing the best they can to make sure their families are safe, right? You already know that by putting somebody on the cashless debit card, you cause another barrier from them getting housing, because people won't rent to those people because they're on the Indu cashless debit card, because Indu makes people breach their leases by not allowing them to pay their rents on time, or in some cases not at all. So this needs a rethink. And to people, look at the TikTok video below, share it wide and far, right? This family doesn't deserve this. Nobody deserves this. And be ready for a big fight, because we're not tolerating this. This is overstep. ParentNext, how dare they recommend somebody go on the cashless debit card because they're living in a caravan park? And the excuse being, because you're at risk of homelessness. Do you know how many times we hear that excuse, right, for people trying to get off the card? Sorry about the messages. Somebody can't understand I'm live at the moment. You know, we get that all the time from people that are rejected. Oh, but you're at risk of homelessness, when Indu have made them homeless, right? And they're at risk of homelessness because Indu won't pay their damn rents. That's why they're trying to get off the card. So, I'm sorry. Let's push this along, okay? Maybe people need to have a look at that TikTok and get on to Anne Ruston and tell them, no, this is not on. You can't use the ParentNext program, you know, by stealth to roll people onto the cashless debit card that are not in card regions just because they lost their house because it got sold out from underneath them and they're living in a caravan park trying to rent somewhere else. You put them on the card, they won't get a rental anywhere else, okay? And plus, in the particular story below, that caravan park has a shop that sells alcohol, which would straight away ban them from being able to pay their rent in that caravan park, which would render that family homeless. Chandler, some says some not on TikTok. You don't need to be on TikTok. You can just click on that link and it'll play it for you anyway. You don't need to be on it. Just click on it. It'll play it for you. Okay? So, Barbara, caravan parks are banned in Ceduna, right? But in other places, if they've got FPOS, you can use FPOS and pay your rent using FPOS. But because these people are not on the cashless debit card, they're able to access their money normally and pay their rent normally. If they get put back on or get put onto the card, there's going to be major issues because that particular caravan park has a shop that sells alcohol. So it's going to be a banned merchant, isn't it? So we need to get on to this, people. Right? Ring up Senator Ann Ruston's office and ask them what the bloody hell they're playing at. Because this is not on. This is rolling it out by stealth to parents that are already in housing crisis. Right? Risking making more families homeless and then using that against them, using that as the excuse to put them on the card. Then when they do go homeless, using that as an excuse to keep them on the card. Dirty pool all the way around. Not acceptable, and we'll fight